New information this afternoon about a fiery crash today. We now know the victim's name. We'll have the latest from Morgan County now at 4. And tragedy strikes a Southern Kentucky kindergartner getting off his school bus.
Rain continues across central and eastern Kentucky, soaking rains out there. Just ahead, I'll show you why this may be a sign of things to come.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Heavy rain is moving through the region. Lexington has already received more than an inch of rain today, and it's still falling, as you can see in this live look at Center Point. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey shows us what's on the First Alert Defender. And Chris, a lot of rain is.
Yeah, we promised a soaker, Jennifer, and here it is. Second big-time soaking rains in less than a week. And today, some areas, believe it or not, better than 2 inches of rain already. Let's look at our sky in Lexington. Hamburg Pavilion, somewhere in the distance, low clouds, fog, and some moderate rains right now. Here at the station, we're up to 1.35 inches of rain on the day, with temperatures right around 70. Defenders showing more in the way of heavy rains across parts of especially central Kentucky as of now. Heaviest rains right on top of the Lexington Metro, where you see the oranges and the occasional reds from around Rupp into the 27 corridor there toward Bourbon County, toward Paris, picking up on some of the heavier downpours on top of Hamburg Pavilion as well. A little farther to the east across I-64, rain. Mountain Parkway, rain. Hal Rogers Parkway, stuff's a little more scattered as of now. That'll pick up, though, coverage-wise and intensity-wise here in the next half hour or so. And heavy rain here across parts of Harrodsburg down into Danville and Stanford. Some standing water has been an issue into parts of the region. Thunderstorms are trying to gear up between Knoxville and Nashville. That stuff trying to lift its way onto the north ahead of an area of low pressure that is just off to our west. Rain is going to hang tough. Chilly temperatures on the way. And Jennifer, that weekend has an ugly look to it. I'll show you why. Again, we're going to have to focus on what's going on to our east to track the weather into early October. That's in 15 minutes.
We'll see you then, Chris. New at 4, we now know the name of a man killed in a fiery crash this morning. Around 7:45, state police say 2 cars collided on Highway 519 north of West Liberty in Morgan County. The crash killed 37-year-old Toby Hunley of West Liberty and critically injured the other driver. WKYT's Victor Puente is in Morgan County with the latest. It's our top story at 4.
The marks in the road here on 519 show clearly where that crash happened and where both vehicles came to a stop. The asphalt is still burnt on Kentucky 519, where one of the cars involved burst into flames. State police say 18-year-old Noah Cox was driving north when he went into the southbound lanes and hit 37-year-old Toby Hunley. Cox's car started to burn. State police say other drivers were able to pull him out before the flames destroyed the car. Hunley was taken to St. Clair Medical Center but died just after 10. Cox is still in critical condition.
They were actually transported, to my understanding, transported to the hospital there in West Liberty. Once they arrived at West Liberty, they were then flown to Cabell Huntington in Huntington, West Virginia.
Kentucky State Police tell us they're still investigating the cause of this crash. In Morgan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
State police also say weather might have been a factor in the crash. For the second time this year, a Kentucky student has died after being hit by a school bus. The latest crash happened yesterday afternoon in Morgantown, that's in Butler County. State police say 5-year-old Jaden Hawkins had just gotten off the bus at his grandmother's house when the bus hit him as it pulled away. Last school year, a Whitley County student died after being hit by a bus. A Clark County student with cerebral palsy was injured when a bus dragged him down the road. Despite these cases, a WKYT investigation found the number of school bus incidents has actually gone down in the past 3 years. We'll have reaction to this latest tragedy in Butler County on WKYT News at 5. A scam alert today in Winchester. Police say a woman has been going door to door claiming to work for various satellite television providers. She advertises a special promotion that asks for payments ranging from $40 to $60.
When the victims contact the provider, they have no knowledge of this program going on, and they've lost their money.
Officers say the scammer is going door to door carrying a clipboard. She's described as an older woman with gray hair wearing a baseball hat and blue jeans. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick is in the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. Officials say the remains of a newborn were lost at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, leading to an unsuccessful search at the Rumpke landfill and an apology from the hospital. The UC Health System's president offered the apology, but no details in a statement that calls it an unacceptable situation. He says changes are being made to ensure that this kind of tragic human error doesn't happen again. You will hear more from him about the situation on WKYT News coming up at 4:30. On October 1st, many retailers will be switching to credit card readers that only accept credit or debit cards with a small chip on the front. In our WKYT web poll, we asked viewers if you have received the new credit cards with the chip in the mail. About 74% say no, they have not received a new card yet. Coming up on WKYT News at 6, we'll take a closer look at the new chip credit card and exactly what will happen on October 1st with the new card readers. Today's rain will bring us cooler temperatures just in time for the start of the fall meet at Keeneland. And this fall meet will be a little different with the Breeders' Cup event at the end of the month. There are several changes this meet. The racetrack has added more than 2,000 seats for the Breeders' Cup that will be available during the fall meet. There are also a couple of chalet areas and some box seating areas. There are also some traffic and parking changes. The Louisville lot, which is right by the final turn, will be closed. Instead of parking there, Keeneland officials are directing people to tailgate back to the hill. They've also added a couple of entrances.
We're going to do things a little bit differently when they come onto the grounds. We've opened up Van Meter Road to make it easier in those two entrances off of Van Meter to get into the grounds, have different alternatives for parking when they come in, and increased our internal shuttle services.
We'll have more on how preparations are going coming up on WKYT at 5. And that's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The president of Planned Parenthood faced a barrage of questions and criticism from House Republicans today as a showdown over the organization's federal funding looms in Washington. Steve Nannis has the latest.
At a House oversight hearing on Tuesday, Republicans told Planned Parenthood President Cecile Richards how they felt about federal funding for her organization.
This is an organization that doesn't need federal subsidy.
Take the money from the guys doing the bad things and give it to the ones who aren't.
The hearing comes after the release of a series of edited undercover videos produced by conservative activists that claim to show Planned Parenthood employees negotiating the sale of fetal tissue.
The outrageous accusations leveled against Planned Parenthood based on heavily doctored videos are offensive and categorically untrue.
But some House Republicans aren't buying it, and they're threatening to shut down the federal government. Their odds of succeeding, however, took a big hit when their leader, Speaker John Boehner, announced he was stepping down in October and promised to work with Democrats on a funding bill.
Should we defund Planned Parenthood? Of course we should.
This controversy has made its way from Capitol Hill to the campaign trail, with many Republican candidates expressing outrage and demanding action. But Richards insists that federal funding for her organization is critical to providing necessary health care, especially to lower-income women.
It is impossible for our patients to understand why Congress is once again threatening their ability to go to the health care provider of their choice.
The House is expected to vote on a funding bill on Wednesday. In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates Planned Parenthood receives approximately $450 million in federal money each year. A mixed day on Wall Street as the Nasdaq slides further into the red this year. It lost 27 points. The Dow picked up 47 and the S&P added 2. The FBI is warning consumers about a phone scam targeting college students. Callers claiming to be from the FBI or the government are telling people they're delinquent on student loans, and they're threatening arrests if they don't send money immediately through MoneyGram. The FBI says don't fall for it. The agency would never call private citizens to request money. If you've ever bought a book and stopped reading it after the first chapter, there's now a solution. The startup company Total Box is introducing an app that allows you to pay only for the pages you read instead of for an entire book. Customers pay using a credit card or PayPal. As they read, the value of each page is deducted from a balance, and readers have access to the digital books forever. As we told you yesterday, Apple says it sold a record-busting 13 million devices during the first weekend of sales for the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. And for those with a shiny new smartphone, we'll show you how to make the most of the old one. Karen Kaifa has tips.
From the very first devices sold in Sydney to smiling shoppers in Hong Kong, to consumers who camped out on the streets of Chicago in the early hours of Friday morning. Apple said Monday it sold more than 13 million 6S and 6S Plus iPhones in the first 3 days on the market, a new record for an opening weekend. That also means millions of old smartphones with nothing to do. In anticipation of upgrades, each of the major wireless carriers rolled out trade-in deals for customers. Apple has their own trade-in program too, as do a number of major retailers like Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. Just like purchasing a device, shopping around is crucial for getting the best price for a trade-in. Prior to researching, take an honest assessment of a smartphone's condition and how much storage it has. Unlocked phones, phones not tied to a specific carrier, generally get more money on resale websites. Before finally trading in that phone, be sure to back up data to the cloud and perform a factory reset. With so much personal data stored there, it's important to take as much caution with an old phone as with the new. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kaifa.
If you need a little late afternoon jolt, today may be your lucky day. It's National Coffee Day. A number of coffee, restaurant, and grocery chains are offering free or discounted cups of coffee. They include Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, McDonald's, and Whole Foods. Some are going the charitable route, donating coffee to nurses and families in cancer centers. Starbucks doesn't have free coffee. Instead, it's launching a tree planting initiative. Okay, well, this is a big week at the University of Kentucky with lots to celebrate.
That it is. Deanne Stevens out and about today to tell us what is happening on a busy UK campus. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here on the University of Kentucky campus. It's a big week here at UK, a big homecoming celebration. 100 years in the making. Allie Zimmerman is with the Homecoming Coalition. First of all, let's talk about how fabulous this is for the University of Kentucky. This is an exciting week for you all.
Absolutely. University of Kentucky Homecoming Week is actually on its 100th anniversary this year. So we have a theme of Race to 100, and we're kind of really gearing up for that week. We've had a lot of different activities framing up to this week, such as Paint the Town Blue and things that you can see on campus. So definitely check those out. But throughout the week, we'll be going towards a street fair on Thursday. That'll be over towards William T. Young Library. With that, you'll see a lot of different activities going on for students and alumni. We definitely want you to check that out. And then coming up to the Dance Blue 5K on Sunday.
This is a big celebration, not just for you guys here on campus, but alum come in from everywhere. Big football game on Saturday. Yeah. Open to the public, a lot of these activities?
Absolutely. Any of our activities are open to the public. You can also go to ukhomecoming.org if you want to see any more information, or ukdanceblue.org to sign up for the 5K on Sunday.
Okay, Olivia Centers with Student Activities Board. You guys are busy this week, aren't you, young lady?
Yes, we are.
Invite folks out to the activities that they can participate in.
Yes, so we have the street fair on Thursday, which is from 6 to 9 p.m. around Willie T. Young Library, which Allie said. There's going to be giveaways and a lot of music. The dance team and the band is going to make an appearance. We're also going to be talking to our homecoming court, the king and queen candidates, so it's going to be really fun and exciting.
All right, you too can come celebrate the 100th anniversary of UK's homecoming here at the University of Kentucky campus. I'm Deanne Stevens. We'll have more from campus when we return here at 4:50. Back to you guys.
It's time for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new study finds psychological stress during childhood is linked to a higher risk of heart disease and diabetes later in life. Researchers in Great Britain followed patients for 45 years. They found adults who suffered persistent stress throughout their entire lives had the highest risk of heart problems. Lowering your risk of heart disease should be a two-step process when it comes to food. Nutritionists recommend eliminating saturated fats such as cookies or potato chips and replacing them with whole grains and nuts. They say too many people replace saturated fats with highly processed foods that provide no benefit. Some privacy hoaxes are making the rounds again on Facebook. One claims to be a legally binding agreement to protect the copyright of your pictures and profile information. The other claims to let you pay a subscription fee to make sure your posts stay private. You've probably seen them on your feed recently. They're hoaxes that have been around for years, but for some reason they're popping up again. Neither one is true. Facebook says its social media site is free and users own the photos and content they post on the site. Many Facebook users in North America couldn't access the social media site for part of yesterday. The company's mobile app also appeared to be down as well. The outage is Facebook's second in less than a week. A message on Facebook.com said, "Sorry, something went wrong. We're working on it and we'll get it fixed as soon as possible."